think we are live. I think. Hi, Shirley. I'm going to give it just a second and let some more people jump on. Hopefully everything is connected. It looks fine. I'm going to play the intro and we're going to get started. Hi, Christine. Hi, Dolores. Hi, Shirley. We are revisiting Rolled Flowers tonight. Again, this is the calendar, and I know you guys have been wondering and waiting, and it's been a little bit of a process changing over and getting the new Cricut site, and new things have been happening. The giveaway, I am almost finished revamping it because of the delay. I had to do some changes to it, and I will announce and release that tomorrow. So there is going to be a very nice giveaway coming for you guys, and I need you to go over to craftingwithapril.co. Tomorrow I'm going to have it up, try to have it up by noon Eastern time, so that you can go in and check out the new giveaway. I will also, of course, announce it in the groups. As you know, I cannot announce it on Patreon. They will not allow it. So even the word giveaway, if you mention it, they will flag it and not allow you to post. So make sure that you're checking the groups tomorrow and you're checking the craftingwithapril.co site tomorrow, and look for that giveaway that I will be posting up. It is sponsored by Cricut. It is not a scam or a sham. I'm a product expert, and it is on the up and up. Just so you guys know that. All right, and I apologize, I do not have my phone up, so if you're on Facebook, thanks for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. I can't see your names or anything, but if you type in chat, I will be able to see what you typed, but I won't be able to see your name to give you a shout out. Let's see, let's start. I'm gonna bring up, my design space disappeared. Right before I came in, I'm like, okay, let me reboot my computer before I go in so that everything will be nice and fresh. Hi, Kathy Ann. And I didn't know that an update was waiting in the background to install. And so I did it at like 6:30, and I'm literally 5 minutes ago, was able to get logged on. Let's see. I don't know if you guys are using the new beta, but mine just updated. What's new? We've got a guided print then cut calibration coming. This is in beta. So it's going to be easier to calibrate for print and cut projects. I will cover that next Thursday. Let's give it time to get out of beta and get into the live version, and we will cover that print and cut. Because I don't think I've done that in a while, and show you guys how to calibrate print and cut. So we will do that next week. All right, so let's see. Oh, wow, I've got lots of notifications too. I had a flu shot yesterday, so I'm not feeling my greatest today, so you guys please bear with me. I apologize that I'm not my happy-go-lucky self today. It was just bug fixes, Shirley? Okay. Yeah, you want to always make sure you get those. I don't know what my Mac updated. I don't know what was waiting in the background. I know it just about messed me up. It was just enough, right? So if you go and you follow my profile, you will find this file. I have loaded it. And what I did, guys, is I just put in all of the new ones. Now, what I mean by new ones are, they are flowers that I discovered, rolled flowers that have been added to Designspace since I did my cheat sheet for flowers. I'm gonna get a new window here and bring that over and show you guys. So if you go to my site and you go to the cheat sheet tab at the top of the window, this is not my site, this is the PDF. But if you go on craftingwithapril.co, right here, let me close out of that. Let me get that all the way over. I'm using two monitors, so sometimes things. If you go right here to the cheat sheets, you have to log in, of course, and be there. If you log in, there's a PDF. And in that PDF, I have the rolled flowers and their numbers and what they look like. All of these are cut at a 6-inch width, okay? And if it's cut at a 6-inch width, when it says equals 2, it's showing that once that 6 inches is rolled, it ends up being about a 2-inch flower. Some of them end up being smaller, like 1.75 or an inch and a half. Some end up being bigger. But I did this guide. I'm not going to add these flowers to that guide because you have this video that you can refer back to. It will be on there. Thanks, Mary Ellen. It will be on there for you to refer back to, but you can download this old one, and it's still going to give you the basic sizing with these new flowers, and I will measure them as we go and show you. So if you cut the file prior, when I posted it up, I believe Tuesday, if you cut the file, we're going to roll all of the 20 flowers that I put in this file tonight. So it's just I just compiled all of them in one file for you guys, so you didn't have to hunt them through Designspace. And I'm going to go to customize. It may take it a second to load because that's a lot of flowers, okay? So we're going to give that just a second here. What else has everybody been working on? Yeah, Mary Ellen, they can. I was feeling fine until about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours ago, and then I kind of felt, yeah, you know, it was kind of like all of a sudden. But I figured it out. It was about 24 hours. Hi, Phyllis. You have not cut yet? Okay, we're going to roll these in order like they are in the file, if it ever loads. There they go. So if you're in the file, if you open it up, and I'm just going to take this down to 50%, in case you guys don't know, there's a zoom down here in the bottom left of your Designspace window. You can click that. And I'm going to be rolling these in order. This top row would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll start second row 5, 6, 7, 8, and then all the way through down to number 20. Okay, and I know that these last two look a little odd, and I did throw this one in. This one is on my flower chart, the one with the leaves. I did not recut any leaves for you guys, but if we need to, I will cut them in. It only takes a second and show you guys how to do that. Yay, Dolores. Yeah, guys, if you have a problem with any of your presses or your machines, anything like that, it is best to call support instead of trying to email. And I know that sometimes with the staffing shortages, things like that, that sometimes any customer service you call these days, it's going to take a little bit of doing to get through. But if you go through that callback system, they will call you back, so you don't have to sit on the phone, and they will handle any problems that you have. So this is the order we're going to be cutting them in. And again, I put in the file right here. That's where the other rolled flowers are that I just showed you, that PDF, and you can get them from there. And again, I'm going to repeat, don't forget to be looking tomorrow for me to post up the new giveaway. I know we didn't have one last month, but I promise you I'm making up for it, and you're going to be happy, happy, happy. Hi, Melissa. So let's go overhead and talk. Well, first I want to tell you guys, I have set all of these, and if you'll look and click on any of them, at 6 inches in width. Now, if your height comes out to be bigger than 6 inches, just set it at 6 inches and forget about the width. You just want to go with the width overall at 6 inches. And you can see every one of these I have set to 6. And that's so that you can determine what size that flower is going to be once you roll it. Can you make it bigger? You absolutely can, up to 11.5 inches if you're using 12 by 12 paper. So you can make this all different sizes. At 6 inches, it's just going to give you an average size. So if I'm cutting this at 6 inches and it comes out to be a 2-inch rolled flower, if you're cutting it at 11.5, it's going to be somewhere about that 3.75 to 4-inch size on rolled flowers, okay? Which is pretty big for a rolled flower, just in my opinion, because you can always go smaller, you can go larger. Some of these, I would say I would not go any smaller than 6 inches, like the one I have selected here. It just depends. I cut everything, every one of these on intricate cardstock setting. Intricate cardstock setting. And every one of them cut well for me, except, where is that little guy? This one, in these tight little areas right here, I'm gonna zoom back in on that one. Oh well, where did he go now? This one. See how tight some of these little areas are here? It wasn't so bad, but right here, like this one that got really narrow, and then there's a couple of little narrow ones. My blade really didn't want to turn good in that. And it may be that I just maybe need to, maybe it was my cardstock, might be my blade. But that's the only one that did not cut well. And it was salvageable, and I'll show it to you when we get to that one. But it cut, and I don't believe it's going to be seen. Yes, there are many uses for them. You can put them on top of boxes for gifts. As a matter of fact, I love doing the small, like 2x2 boxes that you can put candy in and popping a flower on the top of it. It just elevates that little box so much. And when you give it to people, they're so appreciative of it. Yeah, call Shirley. They'll work with you and they'll get you your pod. Let's see. They forgot to put it in. Anytime that something like that happens, Shirley, get with me and I will go through my channels and tell them that you've done everything you're supposed to do and that somebody dropped the ball, and see if we can't get you some help that you deserve. I'm sorry that happened to you. So anyway, we're going to go over and start rolling these flowers. Super easy, but before I get there, I'm going to hit Make It so that you can see what happens when you hit Make It and all of these are set. Now this one is different. This is a pine cone, and I'm going to show you guys how that goes together. I did cut mine on 8.5 by 11-inch paper, and so you'll have to change that, and per color. Now these are the leaves and another flower that's in there, and I also cut that on 8.5 by 11. Now you don't have to go through and do that for all. You see all of these mats, it takes 11 mats that it shows. Well, watch that's if you're using 12 by 12. But if you're using 8.5 by 11, look what happens. It changes all my mats, and now I'm down to like 19 mats. All but this flower right here, and this flower is the one that has the leaves with it, but you can get it on with one of the other smaller. You can either attach these together in the canvas. If you know which flowers you're going to cut, you can attach them together and not have to do it over here, or you can select the 3 dots and move that object, select a mat that you want to go to. And this one is one of the bigger flowers, even though it's a 6 inch. It's the way that the petals are on it. But if you rotate it a little bit and push it back up and then rotate these others. This one is tricky. You may have to get one of the smaller flowers on this one, and I do. So I'm going to move this one. I can't remember which one I used. I'm going to move this one over here. But you can get all of them. I got 2 to a mat, including that big one. You see, I just had to turn that one, and I've got 2 on that mat. That will cut just fine, but if you want to give yourself a little bit more room, you can just kind of flip those around. But you can get them to fit. You see how those petals are? It's going to depend on the petals and where they land as to what you can get in there. So let me turn this one back around. The petal is a little bit shorter right there. It was fitting till I messed with it, right? Let's go back up this way. But they will all fit. I did get them all on a mat. There are a couple of smaller ones in there that you can do on these that have the weird leaves. Those top 2 have the weird leaves. But you can get, that's the small one. You can get them on there. I know it'll fit because I did it. And I didn't change any of the sizes either. Maybe that's not the small one. There are a couple of really that look really small that will go on those top 2. I thought I had the right 2, but maybe I don't. Ah, there they are. These 2 that are on the mat together, that go to the mat together, if you put those with those top 2, they will fit. And then all the others fit together. There's no problem putting any of the others. All the others I got on there with no issue. I'll put this on mat 15. Let's just pick a mat. I had no issue getting the rest of them on there at all. They all fit. But it was those other 2. There they go. But they will all fit just like this, including these top 2 that want to be little boogers because of their leaves. If you use those 2 smaller ones that are down there, they will all fit. And you can cut it down. I think I used maybe 9 sheets of paper, 8 or 9. So it wasn't bad. Okay. So I'm just going to cancel out of that. But you can, like I said, scrunch them all together. You can get them in there. If you're using 12 by 12 paper, it's not going to be an issue. You'll get 2, maybe 3 to a mat. I am using 65-pound paper, which is not Cricut paper because Cricut paper is 80-pound. You can use 80-pound, but when you're doing them larger, but when you're doing them smaller, they tend to not roll as well. So this is the 8.5 by 11, 65-pound solid core from Michaels that I will be using tonight. All of it. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about the flowers and putting them on the mat? If you need to find out what a number is, you can click on your flower here, image info, and it will give you the numbers. And I'm going to tell you the numbers as we cut them. Again, we're going to start in this top left corner, and we're going to work our way 1 through 4, 5, all the way down. And these go pretty quick. You will need hot glue. So that is something else you're going to need, is some hot glue. Now, I've done a couple of them here just so you can see, because I do things to my flowers that a lot of people don't do to their rolled flowers. And some of these, I don't do it to all of them, but my rose-like ones, I do use a flower pad, and I do crinkle their leaves and stuff like that with the ball stylus. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it. This is the same flower without that being done, okay? This is just strictly rolled, and then this is giving it some texture, okay? So it depends on the look that you want and what you do to them. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm using, Shirley. If you use the Cricut paper, that cardstock's a little bit stiffer, and it doesn't relax enough. That's what I'm going to say. It doesn't relax enough. It's beautiful paper. It's gorgeous paper. I use Cricut paper for everything except this. This came out of the paper crafting tool. This is a quilling tool. It has a little slit in it for you to roll your flowers with. It is no longer sold. This came in that paper crafting kit too. It's a foam pad. You can get them at Amazon. And you can get them for very little. There's like a set of these, and I believe it's like $6 or $7. There's a set of 10 of these, and it's like $7. This is a ball stylus. If you don't have a foam pad, you can use your mouse pad, but you're not going to get as much, you're not going to get that pressure that you get with the thicker pad. But if you have like the little mats that you put on the kids' floor, is if it's smooth, if it's textured, that's going to be iffy. But if it's smooth, you can use that for your flower pads. And then again, the ball stylus. But I'm only going to be using that for one flower tonight. And that's all we're going to do with it. This is flower 1 in the file. This is flower number 1, and it is M like Mary 3C2B7869. And when I roll mine, I'm just going to go through the steps. I get right up on that end, and then the rest of these I'm going to roll pretty fast, guys, because it's all the same. But you're just going to get right on that end, and you're going to use your quilling tool or your Cricut tool, and you're going to give that a tight center, and you're going to start rolling, okay? And keep it as tight as you can and as even as you can, and you're just going to roll it from that end towards the inside, okay? Don't start from the inside and try to roll out. Hi, Marianne. Yeah, from way back in the day. This is the piercing pad, I think is what they called it, Shirley. But I use it for a flower pad. It works just as well as the flower pads. But I'm not doing this tightly. I'm just kind of rolling it, okay? And you can see it kind of looks really ugly. Well, we're not going to pay any attention to that. Just going to pull this right out of the center once I get to that end. And this circle at the end, I'm just going to put a bend in it. Okay, we're just going to bend it. That's going to be our base. And then we're going to let go of it and let it relax. Let that flower relax, okay? Once it relaxes, don't worry about these other couple petals. They're going to fall into place. And we're just going to put a little hot glue. And then you're just going to hold that, and if you're using high temp, you may want to use one of the silicone finger things. I am just making sure that that center is held tight, and I'm letting the rest of this spring out, okay? Because that's what's going to give me my size. Now, that being said, hi, Lynn. This one comes out to be, cut at 6 inches, comes out to be roughly 1.5 inches in size. That being said, everybody rolls differently, okay? And how tight you roll it and the way that you roll it, you may let yours expand more to give you more size. This is just an approximate. So this is number 1, and I'm just going to mark this because my 1 is on the glue side there. So that's number 1, and we're going to put that one to the side. Now we're just going to go through and do the same with the next one. This is flower number 2 in the file. It is M441CA2. And this is so, I'm giving you these numbers so that you know when you see these rolled, which ones you like, which ones you don't. So there's no need to cut flowers you don't like, right? So that's why I'm doing all of these. And you saw on the guide that I had the others. These are the other ones that I found in there that were not on that file. I don't think they're on there. Some of them may be duplicated. But we're just rolling, keeping it tight. Mocha buttercream torte. Yummy. And again, I'm here at the end. I'm just letting that go. Let that come out. Let go of it. And I'm not even bending this one because really there's no way to bend it the way that that is cut. So we're just going to leave it like it is. Just going to put some glue over that. And we're just going to stick that down. All right, and this is flower 2. That one's pretty. That's another one of my favorites. But I need to test that one. I need to cut that one again and test it with the ball stylus and see if I want to add texture to that. This one is number 3 in the file. This is M3D2050E6. I love the petals on this one. And I'm about to mess up there. You want to make sure that your petals are going to the top of your stylus here, because you don't want to roll with your petals towards your hand. You want them to go away from you. And some of these can be a little tricky to roll. Just don't tear your petals. Just let it relax. Go slow. And guys, you can also, if you're stampers or inkers, you use stamp pads, you can ink the edges of your flowers. I've done that before. Ink the edges of your flowers before. You would just bring this over like this flower and ink these edges before you roll. Gives a very, very, very pretty look to the rolled flowers. I'm just going to pull that one out. Now this one I have an area where I can bend that over. So I'm just going to bend that over. We're going to let that relax. And this one doesn't want to relax. The petals are getting hung on each other. So when they do that with me, I kind of just go back and pull them apart because the space in here is making them stick together. So I'm just going to go in and make that relax a little. If you don't like the look of something, just unroll it and then roll it back up with your fingers. Because you can, that's just way too tight in the center for me. See how it hung? That's hung right there. The petals are sticking to themselves. And I don't like that look. There we go. I'm going to relax that a little. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tear that one off because I just don't like it. I want a better center. And then I'm going to bring it back in. Because I've already got some curl on there, I don't need to use the tool again. Just going to bring it in tight. Not too tight, but not too loose. I'm just pulling it tighter till I get it like I want. We're getting there. I think this one would probably serve better as a flower center if you're going to leave it tight. All right, so now we're there. We're just going to put that glue on our circle there. I'm just going to twirl it around in that glue till I get it back where I had it. There we go. And again, really tight is going to be for your flower center. See, I pulled that one out of the middle. And if you want to put it back in, then you can. But I like it better without it. Totally up to you. This one is number 3. I forgot to tell you guys the size. Number 2 comes out to be 2 inches at 6 inches. And number 3 comes out to be anywhere from 1.5 to 2 inches, depending on how you rolled it. This one is number 4. This is M3D 205253. And I'm about to do that petal to the outside. Almost did it inside again. I can tell right now the petals are going to hang up on this one. I'm going to leave this one tightened though. We're going to take a look at the difference. The only difference between this one and that one I just did is the shape of the leaves. This one's more like a carnation top, so you would probably want to leave it tight. Hi, Lynn. Did anybody else have any other questions? Tomorrow, oh, I forgot, tomorrow not only is the giveaway coming, but I'm also doing I have a couple of fall boxes coming out here in the next month, and one of them is coming tomorrow as your freebie file. So you can see I'm just doing the center. I'm not trying to glue all of those there. We're going to give it a little bit of relaxation. Give it some room to relax. This one is number 4. This is the carnation looking one, and it overall, I'm going to say is about 1.75 inches. I didn't let it relax a whole lot like I did this one though. And this one is number 5. This one is M3D 20525A. What is everyone's? Your Maker 3? Yay! You got your Maker 3. Yay! Awesome! I love mine. I just ordered an Air 3. So I would have an Air 3 and a Maker 3. Yeah, don't glue it all, Shirley. Give it some room to relax. Hi, Steffi. Give it some room to relax. And this one, we're going to leave some of those to the outside. That, if you've been, that's totally up to you. This one, to me, yeah, see how they hung up? This one to me is better as maybe if, this one almost looks like a pine cone. This is, to me, would be a great center for one of the individual petal flowers. But you can let it relax, give it time to spring out. There we go. Get it to loosen up a little bit. There we go. Much better. I'm just going to pull that in. I don't want it that loose. And hold it with my fingers. Hold that out there. And put my glue. That's how you can control it loosening up if you don't want it to spring on you. Just hold it while you're getting your glue. And again, I'm just gluing those centers. I'll let that relax a little bit there. Okay, there's flower number 5, and it ends up being right about 1.75 as well. And if this is the one I think it is, this is another one of my favorites. This is M3D 203A6B. I know that you guys like the rolled flowers. Who likes individual petals? Doing the individual petal flowers. The greens can be used with any of, absolutely, Steffi. If you want to use, you can use any leaves that you find in there. They will all look fine. I don't pay attention. Sometimes when I do the roses, I do look for a rose. I look for a rose leaf, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing individual petals, then yeah, I want the jagged. I want it to look as natural as possible. So I will look for those. But on my rolled flowers, I'm more of, it just needs some green in there. I don't care what the green is, as long as there's some green. Now, I don't let this one relax a lot. This was one of those pointy ones.